Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Maria Albina Michael, and with me is Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Parliament adjourned sine die. Lok Sabha registered 82% productivity while Rajya Sabha 47% in winter session. Over 139 crore vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate stands at 98.40%. DRDO conducts maiden flight test of indigenously developed surface-to-surface missile Pralay off the coast of Odisha. President Ramnath Kovind participates in Indian Navy's operational demonstration in Kochi. Prime Minister to launch multiple development initiatives in Varanasi tomorrow. Niti Aayog launches Vernacular Innovation Program to empower innovators and entrepreneurs to access innovative ecosystem in 22 languages. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to hold pre-budget consultations with prominent economists today. Prime Minister to address the convocation ceremony of IIT Kanpur on 28th of this month. In hockey, India to take on Pakistan for bronze in Asian Championships Trophy Tournament in Dhaka. And in football, India to clash with Bangladesh in the final of the SAF Under-19 Women's Championship in Dhaka today. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-239-78046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Both houses of Parliament adjourned sine die today, a day ahead of its schedule. The winter session of the Parliament had commenced on the 29th of last month. In the Lok Sabha, when the House met this morning, Speaker Om Birla made a valedictory remark, saying the House registered 82% productivity during the session and passed 9 bills. He said that due to disruptions, around 19 hours of the House were wasted during the session.
सत्र के दौरान 18 बैठकें हुई जो 83 घंटे 12 मिनट तक चली। सत्र के आरंभ में सदन के 3 माननीय सदस्यों ने 29 और 30 नवंबर 2021 को शपथ ली। इस सत्र में महत्वपूर्ण वित्तीय और विधायी कार्यों का निपटान किया गया। वर्तमान सत्र के दौरान 12 सरकारी विधेयक पुनर्स्थापित किए गए, 9 विधेयक पारित हुए। पारित किए गए कुछ महत्वपूर्ण विधेयक हैं: कृषि विधि निरसन विधेयक 2021, राष्ट्रीय औषध शिक्षा और अनुसंधान संशोधन विधेयक 2021, केंद्रीय सतर्कता आयोग संशोधन विधेयक 2021, दिल्ली विशेष स्थापन संशोधन विधेयक 2021 और निर्वाचन विधि संशोधन विधेयक 2021.
In his valedictory remarks in the Rajya Sabha, Chairman Venkaiah Naidu expressed unhappiness over the functioning of the House during session and urged members to collectively reflect and individually introspect on the way the session has gone by. He said the House functioned much below its potential.
I am not happy to share with you the House functioned much below its potential. I urge all of you to collectively and individually reflect and introspect if this session could have been different and better. I don't want to speak elaborately on the course of this session, as it would lead to me to make a very critical view. And also, realization of what has happened is wrong, and we should all work towards constructive, positive atmosphere for the larger interest of the country.
During the session, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha witnessed continuous disruptions on farmer issues, Lakhimpur Kheri incident, suspension of 12 MPs of Upper House and other issues due to protest by the opposition. The Lok Sabha has registered 82% productivity while the Rajya Sabha 47% in the winter session of Parliament. Briefing media about the session, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said 9 bills were passed by the Lok Sabha and 11 bills by the Rajya Sabha.
Lok Sabha का productivity approximately 82% रहा है और Rajya Sabha का unfortunately 47% रहा है। 9 बिल राज्यसभा में पारित हुआ है, 11 बिल लोकसभा में पारित हुआ है। ये 11 बिल में अप्रोप्रिएशन बिल भी है, डिमांड्स ऑन सप्लीमेंट्री डिमांड्स ऑन ग्रांट, वो भी पारित हो गए। टोटल 11 bills इंक्लूडिंग 1 appropriation bill were passed by both the houses of the parliament.
Suspended opposition MPs of Rajya Sabha today continued the dharna in front of the Mahatma Gandhi statue in Parliament premises. Today, TMC MP Derek O'Brien, who was suspended from the House for his unruly behaviour yesterday, also joined the protest. These MPs are demanding revocation of their suspension. Opposition MPs were suspended for the current session on the first day of the winter session for their unruly behaviour in the last monsoon session. The protesting MPs also read the preamble of the Constitution and sang the national anthem. The Minister of State for Education, Dr. Subhash Sarkar, informed the Rajya Sabha that across the country in various Indian Institutes of Technology, IITs, 3,230 number of faculty posts are lying vacant. He said against the sanctioned strength of 10,088 faculty posts, 6,858 posts are filled in IITs. Similarly, he said 403 faculty posts in the Indian Institutes of Management, IIMs, and 511 in IIITs are lying vacant.
Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said that the COVID variant Omicron is 3 times more transmissible than the Delta variant. Centre has advised the states and union territories to activate the war rooms and keep taking proactive action at the district or local level. In a letter written by Health and Family Welfare Secretary Rajesh Bhushan to states and union territories yesterday, he said the COVID variant Delta is still present in different parts of the country. He also said greater foresight, data analysis, dynamic decision-making and strict and prompt containment action is required at the local and district level. States have been advised that there should be constant review of emerging data regarding the population affected by COVID-19 and its geographical spread. He said hospital infrastructure and its utilization, manpower, notifying containment zones, enforcement of perimeter of containment zones should also be reviewed. 213 cases of Omicron have been reported in the country so far. Out of the total Omicron cases, Delhi has reported 57 cases and Maharashtra has reported 54 cases. The Union Health Ministry said till now 90 patients have been discharged after recovery.
Over 139 crore vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. India's active caseload currently stands at 78,190. Active cases account for less than 1% of the total cases. The recovery rate is currently at 98.40%. 6,906 recoveries in the last 24 hours has increased the total recoveries to over 3 crore 42 lakh. A total of 6,317 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. Union government today said that more than 147 crore vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. Health Ministry said that more than 17 crore 73 lakh unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states, UTs and private hospitals to be administered.
Government has sanctioned more than 1,500 pressure swing adsorption PSA oxygen generation plants, of which 1,463 have been commissioned. Inaugurating the National Oxygen Stewardship Program in New Delhi, Minister of State for Health Dr. Bharati Pawar said 1,225 PSA plants have been installed and commissioned under PM CARES Fund. She said states have also been asked to install PSA plants in public health facilities and facilitate installation of PSA plants in private health facilities. The minister said Oxygen Stewardship Program aims to empower all healthcare workers engaged in oxygen management and administration. In Bangladesh, the government has urged people to celebrate Christmas and the New Year on a limited scale due to the continuing COVID-19 pandemic in the country. A letter issued by Home Ministry asking people to arrange public gatherings for social, cultural and religious purposes on a very limited scale following the health guidelines. The law enforcement agencies held meetings at the district levels with the concerned people to ensure that health guidelines are properly followed during the last week of the year, coinciding with Christmas and New Year celebration.
In a bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, President Public Health Foundation of India, Professor K. Srinath Reddy, will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. This program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on telephone number 011-2342-1230. President Ramnath Kovind today participated in various programs of the Southern Naval Command in Kochi. He witnessed an operational demonstration of the Navy that lasted 45 minutes. Anti-submarine ships, submarine warfare helicopters, fighter aircraft and helicopters, sail training ships, surveillance aircrafts, fast attack crafts and fast interceptor crafts were on display. The President later visited cell of the INS Vikrant, country's first indigenous aircraft carrier, built by the Cochin shipyard for the Navy. Governor Arif Muhammad Khan joined the President to the Vikrant cell. The President currently on a 4-day visit of Kerala.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Varanasi and kickstart multiple development initiatives tomorrow. During his visit, he will lay the foundation stone of various projects including Banas Dairy Sankul at Uttar Pradesh State Industrial Development Authority, food park at Kharkiaun and biogas-based electricity generation plant for the Milk Producers Cooperative Union plant at Ramnagar in Varanasi. Mr. Modi will also transfer the bonus of about 35 crore rupees to the bank accounts of more than 1.7 lakh milk producers associated with Banas Dairy. To reduce the land ownership issues at grassroots level, the Prime Minister will virtually distribute the Rural Residential Rights Record Gharani under the Swamitva scheme to over 20 lakh residents of the state. Inauguration and foundation laying of 22 developmental projects worth over 870 crore rupees will also be done on the occasion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said he is looking forward to being at IIT Kanpur on the 28th of this month to address the convocation ceremony. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, This is a vibrant institution which has made pioneering contributions towards science and innovation. He invited everyone to share suggestions for his speech at narendramodi.in.
Defence Research and Development Organization DRDO today successfully conducted the maiden flight test of indigenously developed surface-to-surface missile Pralay from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Island off the coast of Odisha. Defence Ministry said the mission has met all its objectives. The new missile followed the desired quasi-ballistic trajectory and reached the designated target with high degree accuracy, validating the control, guidance and mission algorithms. The missile is powered with solid propellant rocket motor and many new technologies. The missile has a range of 150 to 500 km and can be launched from a mobile launcher. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Parliament adjourned sine die. Lok Sabha registered 82% productivity while Rajya Sabha 47% in winter session. Over 139 crore vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate stands at 98.40%. DRDO conducts maiden flight test of indigenously developed surface-to-surface missile Pralay off the coast of Odisha. President Ramnath Kovind participates in Indian Navy's operational demonstration in Kochi. Prime Minister to launch multiple development initiatives in Varanasi tomorrow. Niti Aayog launches Vernacular Innovation Program to empower innovators and entrepreneurs to access innovative ecosystem in 22 languages. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to hold pre-budget consultations with prominent economists today. Prime Minister to address the convocation ceremony of IIT Kanpur on the 28th of this month. In hockey, India to take on Pakistan for bronze in Asian Champions Trophy tournament in Dhaka. And in football, India to clash with Bangladesh in the final of the SAF Under-19 Women's Championship in Dhaka today. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will hold pre-budget consultations with prominent economists in New Delhi today. Finance Ministry said this in a tweet. The meetings are being held virtually. The general budget is presented by the Finance Minister every year in Parliament on the 1st of February. The Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has said that the government is going to set up 116 new FM transmitters in various states across the country. In a written reply to a question in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Thakur said Prasar Bharati has approved the setting up of FM transmitters in 111 locations and 5 mobile transmitters along the border and Ladakh.
Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, today launched the first of its kind vernacular innovation program which enables innovators and entrepreneurs to have access to the innovative ecosystem in 22 mother tongue languages. By providing access to learning in one's language and culture, Atal Innovation Mission aims to create equal opportunity for the vernacular innovators. Speaking on the occasion, Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Dr. Rajiv Kumar said, innovation will be taken to the grassroots with this initiative. He said through this, innovation can become a Jan Andolan because people are more creative when they think in their own mother tongues rather than in English. Kerala legislator and senior Congress leader P.T. Thomas passed away today morning in Vellore, Tamil Nadu. He was 71 years old. He had been undergoing cancer treatment for the past 1 month. Mr. Thomas represented the Thirikkarakara constituency in the current Legislative Assembly.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today paid tributes to the legendary mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan on his birth anniversary, which is also celebrated as National Mathematics Day. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu asked people to spread awareness about the importance of mathematics in sustainable development, innovation, and most of all in improving the quality of lives. Chief Election Commissioner Sushil Chandra informed that the term of current Vidhan Sabha in Goa will get over by the 15th of March 2022. Therefore, poll process will be completed by then. He was speaking at a press conference in Panaji today. The electoral roll will be finalized by 5th January, he added. 16,807 voters will cast their votes for the first time, he said.
Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla will pay a 2-day visit to Myanmar starting from today. The Ministry of External Affairs said the Foreign Secretary will hold discussions with the State Administrative Council, political parties and members of civil society during his visit. Issues relating to humanitarian support to Myanmar, security and India-Myanmar border concerns and the political situation in Myanmar will also be discussed. This is the first visit of Foreign Secretary Shringla to Myanmar since the military government took over in February this year after removing the civilian government led by Aung San Suu Kyi. Earlier, Shringla had visited Myanmar in 2020. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On the 22nd of December 1901, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore established the school of Brahmacharya Ashram for children of Shantiniketan, West Bengal. It is around this school that the structure of the unconventional and globally renowned Vishwa Bharati University has developed through love for education, dedication and careful planning. Rabindranath Tagore called the institution Vishwa Bharati, which means the communion of the world with India, in a conscious repudiation of the system introduced in India by the British rulers. Rabindranath initially sought to realize the intrinsic values of the ancient education in India. The school and its curriculum therefore signified a departure from the way the rest of the country viewed education and teaching.
Simplicity was the cardinal principle. Classes were held in open air in the shade of trees where human and nature entered into an immediate harmonious relationship. Teachers and students shared the single integral socio-cultural life. The curriculum had music, painting, dramatic performances and other performative practices. Beyond the accepted limits of intellectual and academic pursuits, opportunities were created for invigorating and sustaining the manifold faculties of the human personality.
After independence, the institution was given the status of a central university in 1951 by an act of the Parliament. It continues to empower the citizens of India and the world.
We also remember the revolutionary from across the seas, Taraknath Das, who died on 22nd of December 1958. A pioneering immigrant in the west coast of North America, he helped organize the Asian Indian immigrants in favor of the Indian independence movement.
Taraknath was born on the 15th of June 1884 in Kanchrapara, 24 Parganas, West Bengal. While attending college in Calcutta, he was recruited into an anti-British secret society. By 1905, he gave up his studies and started spreading the revolutionary message. Wanted by police, he fled to Japan in 1905, disguised as a sadhu. And after the British ambassador requested his extradition, Das fled to the US and enrolled in the University of California, Berkeley, where he organized Indian immigrants towards Indian independence movement.
Das started in 1908 a monthly magazine called Free Hindustan to educate Indian immigrant population of British Columbia about the exploitative policies of the British Indian government. Later, he was also associated with Lala Hardayal of the Ghadar Party, and by 1914, after several unsuccessful applications, became a US citizen, thus moving out of the reach of the British government.
He travelled to Germany on the eve of the World War I and became involved in securing funds for an armed insurrection in India. He took part in an unsuccessful German-Indian mission to destroy British-controlled railway along the Suez Canal and also travelled to China and Japan to organize the Pan-Asiatic League and promote India's independence.
In 1917, Das returned to the USA to face the charge of conspiring to violate the Neutrality Act. He and other conspirators were convicted in the Hindu-German conspiracy case in San Francisco, and Das was sentenced to 22 months in prison in Leavenworth, Kansas.
After serving his prison term, Das abandoned revolutionary activities. He completed his PhD from the School of Foreign Service in Georgetown University and spent the rest of his years teaching in the US and Europe. He died in December 1958 in New York. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
On to sports. In hockey, India will take on Pakistan for the bronze medal in the Asian Champions Trophy tournament in Dhaka today. The match will begin at 3:30 p.m. Indian time. Defending champion India suffered a 3-5 defeat against Japan in the semi-final yesterday. Japan will face South Korea in the final at 6 p.m. Korea defeated Pakistan by 6-5 in the semi-final yesterday. India had won the prestigious tournament in 2016 and were joint winners in 2018. In football, India will take on Bangladesh in the final of the SAF Under-19 Women's Championship in Dhaka today. The match is slated to begin at 5:30 p.m. Indian time. India had lost 0-1 to table topper Bangladesh earlier in the tournament and finished second in the tournament with 9 points. Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned that Russia is prepared to take military steps in response to unfriendly Western actions over the Ukraine conflict. He also called for serious negotiations on Russian security demands during his first call with new German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who in turn called for de-escalation.
And now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. The national capital Delhi will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. It recorded a minimum temperature of 4 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 22 degrees. Mumbai is likely to have mainly clear sky. It noted a minimum temperature of 18 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 32 degrees. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy sky. There will not be much change in temperature as it will vary between 20 and 29 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have mainly clear sky. The city noted a minimum temperature of 12 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be around 22 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature -2 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 10 degrees Celsius. Jammu will also have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature was 7 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 18 degrees Celsius. Leh, likely to have generally cloudy sky, and the temperature will vary between -8 and 0 degrees Celsius. Gilgit is expected to have overcast sky with temperature hovering between -7 and 11 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature was 2 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 18 degrees. In Madhya Pradesh, International Van Mela is being organized from today to the 26th of this month at Lal Parade Ground in Bhopal. The Managing Director of Madhya Pradesh State Minor Forest Produce Association, Pushkar Singh, informed that an exhibition focused on the schemes of the Forest Department is also being organized. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Parliament adjourned sine die. Lok Sabha registered 82% productivity, while Rajya Sabha 47% in winter session. Over 139 crore vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate stands at 98.40%. DRDO conducts maiden flight test of indigenously developed surface-to-surface missile Pralay off the coast of Odisha. President Ramnath Kovind participates in Indian Navy's operational demonstration in Kochi. Prime Minister to launch multiple development initiatives in Varanasi tomorrow. Niti Aayog launches Vernacular Innovation Program to empower innovators and entrepreneurs to access innovative ecosystem in 22 languages. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to hold pre-budget consultations with prominent economists today. Prime Minister to address the convocation ceremony of IIT Kanpur on the 28th of this month. In hockey, India to take on Pakistan for bronze in Asian Champions Trophy tournament in Dhaka. And in football, India to clash with Bangladesh in the final of the SAF Under-19 Women's Championship in Dhaka today. And with that, we end the midday news.